What did we just?
Looking to have a chat?
No, I'm off phone. Huh?
Looking to have a chat, conversation?
Legally or illegally?
What?
Yeah, I'm so down.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm down.
I go onto this app and I'm curious to hear what they believe and why they believe it. So, what do you believe?
Money.
Money, okay.
I believe in scientific facts, or in religion, I believe in God.
Sure. You believe in God, okay. Okay, before I go farther, I don't have to record, but I like recording conversations and posting them to YouTube. If you guys aren't comfortable with that, I can just stop recording.
I'm cool with that. You good?
Yeah.
Cool.
What's your YouTube channel?
Life, the number 4 Christ. Life for Christ. It's like has a blue logo, 120 subscribers.
I'll subscribe.
Oh, neato, fun. Yeah, I just go online and talk to people and try to logic through things. So you believe in God, though. So I'm interested to hear your reason. Why do you believe God exists?
It's just mostly because of like my surroundings. You know, my grandma was a pastor for like 10 years. So
I subscribe.
I've been just.
Oh no, that's
around,
it. Yeah, that's funny.
You know, Christianity.
Okay.
You know, I've just been around Christianity, so I've just started to believe it.
Okay. Yeah. Just sure. I mean, okay, that makes sense. That's a lot of how I'm a Christian. I mean, probably by the name of the YouTube channel gives it away. But yeah. So do you feel like that's just kind of like, all right, I'm around it and fine, I'm gonna believe it, or do you think it's like true, like, yeah, like Jesus was actually God on earth?
You know, sometimes I do have thoughts about it. Like sometimes I do think about it. Like, am I just believing in God? Because hold on,
apologies. This got deep fast.
Like sometimes I do think about like. Sometimes I do think about like, do I only believe in God because I'm raised around it, or do I believe in God because I know who He is? And yeah, I do believe in God because I do think He's real, but mostly it's because I've been raised around it. But
okay, neato. Yeah, I honestly, yeah.
Sorry, you can carry on.
Oh no, that was interesting. Like I was in a similar situation, though my parents aren't Christian. I kind of in middle school is when I kind of came to start believing it's true. But now here's an interesting question I have for you. So you said you believe in scientific facts. Now a lot of the world. Now, spoiler alert, I'm still a Christian. I also believe in scientific facts. I have a physics degree from college, but a lot of the world says science disagrees with the Bible. Is that something that irks you at all, or I don't know, how do you reconcile that?
I would say that is correct, because a lot of like Einstein, a lot of like scientific like models that are up there to know and to being so super smart are also like Christian
stuff, like Einstein. I'm pretty sure Newton.
Oh yeah, Newton, big time Newton. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would believe that scientific facts are around the Bible and God, but it's also, yeah, I know.
Sure.
But, yeah.
That's cool that you recognize that. A lot of people just look at some scientists today and just assume atheism is the right way. I did a presentation in college actually. This blew my mind. So I was kind of like having doubts, especially in like 10th grade, like homeroom or government class. So I was bored out of my freaking mind. But I was thinking, okay, oh actually that's relevant, but more like when I went to college, I started thinking, okay, if Christianity is true, like, shouldn't there be some evidence for it? And then I started like going down the road, like, okay, wow, there's actually a lot of evidence. But now I'm not just at that point. I actually think atheism is actually, and now, sorry if your friend is an atheist. I don't mean to mock, but I think it's a ridiculous worldview. Like, here's something.
Like, you don't believe in anything.
I'm still trying to figure that part out.
Yeah, and I respect the process. It's really hard, so I don't want to mock anyone because life's freaking hard to figure out, man. But here's one thing which really convinced me. There are six miracles that atheists believe in. in big time, because if you're an atheist, by definition, you can't believe in miracles. But for this reality to be true, like us talking to each other, like everything around us, you know what I mean? Like you are forced to believe in 6 miracles, which makes it inconsistent to be an atheist. Here's some 6 of them. Where to start? Morality coming from matter. Like that is like the big seal. Like do you believe, or both of you guys, do you guys believe like good and bad exists?
Yes, definitely. Most definitely.
Like there's like actually like there's good and there's evil things to do. Like do you guys, like Hitler was evil, like just no doubt.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
he was
most
obviously evil.
Like now, if you think about it, like okay, we take that for granted. Like if in an atheistic worldview, no God, we're just atoms, just electrons bouncing off each other and just going to and fro. Now, how does like actually like evil, like if that's true, there's no good or bad. Like it can't come from anywhere. There has to be like a foundation of good. Like that's one really convincing fact. I don't know if this is interesting. I won't like say all the rest. I'll say all the rest quickly, but I won't go into depth unless you're curious about a single one of them. But then, so there's morality from matter. There's personal from the impersonal, like from atoms, like impersonal atoms, meaning beauty, love. Like I know you guys are looking for a girl. Some point, if you don't have a girl in your life, like you believe in love, probably. um, Beauty, like things are actually beautiful. The obvious one, right? Existence from non-existence, the Big Bang. That's another one, a miracle that atheists have to accept. For their which is inconsistent with their worldview. Logic, like math from dang, this is so cool. This is really interesting. Again, these things add up and really convince me against atheism being even slightly possible. Logic from non-logic. Math, like we don't invent math. We didn't invent math. We discovered it. Like Newton, a freaking genius and a Christian. He took like 6 months off during, I can't remember, maybe like a disease to go discover calculus. Like there's this realm of math.
Gravity, right?
It gets complex. Oh geez, sorry, I'm using fancy words, but I think it characterized it and discover, or he's the first person to actually like lay the groundworks describing how it works. But yeah, he's the gravity dude. He's the gravity dude. Sorry, my stupid degree just makes me care about the details. I'm sorry about that.
We all like details sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but yeah, math just existed. Just is there to discover. It's always existed, which is just crazy. Like the imaginary plane. Do you guys deal with imaginary numbers at all in your math classes?
Imaginary
What
numbers?
do you mean by imaginary numbers?
Or complex, like the I, like the square root of -1. Ever deal with that?
That exists.
We're not there yet, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, that's a whole thing
Right
we
now-
discovered, which we were like, oh, this is a fake number. So they call them complex or imaginary numbers. But this thing that can't describe anything in the, like this single number doesn't describe anything in our reality, but it has a whole different abstract realm which helps us calculate things in the real world, and it's insane. And that was just there for us to discover in this, not like this abstract, like in our minds, which is crazy. But it's a rule. Like we didn't invent the rules. Like we can't choose the rules. It's just we're there to discover it. That's cool. That's logic from non-logic. Order from chaos. Like there's order from chaos, which you have to believe. Like the universe is winding down, meaning it had to wind up. That's about. I think that might be the 6. I might be missing one, but I'm just telling you that these things add up to where if you're an atheist, you have to believe these happen somehow, and there's no explanation from a atheistic worldview. So that's just something to encourage you to say, like, when you have doubts, because doubts come as a Christian. And for you, if you're your friend or brother or friend, yeah, these are things to definitely think. It's for you to have confidence in the Christian faith, and for you to consider, also your friend to just consider, like, dang, there's something out there, like logically. Like I thought to be a Christian, like I kind of had to like put away like being smart or thinking about things, but no, I think it's the absolute opposite direction, and if it's true, it has to be that way. So there's some fun facts which blew my mind, and I don't know why I just shared them with you, but I thought I get excited about this stuff because I think God's real and it's just important.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is that anything that like that sounds weird, or does that make sense, or blow your mind at all? Like it didn't mind. I don't know.
That was very interesting. It just gave me an entire like different perspective
Yeah.
of like how I thought of how I believed in God.
Yeah. Well, that's great to hear. Yeah. It's like if God's true, there's a lot of people who like to cop out. Like if you ask adults, like there's a lot of adults who you ask them a hard question, they'll just kind of get mad at you for it. But if Christianity is true, there has to be evidence for it. Otherwise, why would you believe it? So, but I'd like to assure you, it is true, and there's so much evidence. And like another question you could ask is, okay, why Christianity? Why not like be a Muslim? They believe in God too, or Hindus. Um, one thing, I won't go in the details because I don't want to just monologue at you, but is evidence for it. Like, as far as I can tell, there's no good reasons to be Muslim, and for everything I've looked into, we can reasonably. Jesus rose from the dead, and the evidence points that direction, like very strongly. That okay, if a guy raises from the dead, I'm gonna listen to him. We know that he died. We know that he died for a fact. Like this, geez. So that's just something to look into, just to encourage you to stay strong to that. I don't know, but is there any? I don't want to just tell you things I think are interesting, which I think is fun. But is there any? I don't know, along these lines of. They sound interesting for you to talk about, or questions you might have, or things that don't make sense. I don't know. Or your friends too, like thinking like, because you won't offend me. By the way, I want to tell you that right now. You guys can ask hard questions, and I won't judge you or offend you.
Yeah, but no, I think we don't have any questions. Thank you.
Cool. So, sorry. Thank you for letting me share, because some facts I think are really cool. Here's a question I would like to ask, which is just super important as a Christian. Do you know how do I get to heaven? How does someone get to heaven?
Well, based of how I have been raised off of is like prayers and like try not to sin and like most like that. Like be a good Samaritan.
Okay.
Just be a good. Yeah.
Sure. So good. If you're a good person, you go to heaven. A bad person, you go to hell. Is basically to sum it up. Okay. Where do you think the line is now? Because you've done bad things before. I've done bad things. So like, how many bad things? Like, is it just outweighs? Like, if you're good outweighs the bad. Yeah. So
Because what I've learned by is God will always accept you and will always forgive you from your sins that you have done. So I wouldn't say it would outweigh, but I would say like it would definitely help if you did good things. But I wouldn't say it would outweigh it.
okay. Do you think? Here's a big question. Do you think Hitler could have been saved? Like, could he have gone to heaven? Any chance? Because he's done good things in his life. I'm sure he's helped someone, gave some money. Now he's done a lot of big time evil things.
I'm pretty sure didn't he kill a bunch of people because they were, I think, what was Jew?
Nope.
He killed people. Huh?
6 million Jews for being Jews. Costa.
Nah.
Yeah.
He ain't coming back from that.
Wasn't Hitler a Jew?
No, but he wasn't. Like, he thought there's, like, he promoted something called like the Aryan race, which I'm no expert in this, but you're supposed to be like blue eye or blonde hair, blue eyed is like the oh, I thought my camera cut off, but blue eyed blonde hair, and he wasn't that, so I don't even think he was part of the Aryan race. Which
your mic cut out.
Oh, really? Not still? Can you hear me now? No. Okay. One second.
Well, I'll bless this point. Dude, that was trippy. Deep. Bro, that got deep fast. God damn.
Okay, I'm overall pretty happy with the results, how the conversation went, but these stupid technical issues are driving me nuts. I don't know if it's the app itself or if it's the camera. I just got some new gear for the next video, so hopefully that helps. But about the conversation, so that's super helpful. I'm really passionate about. A lot of people don't know that the evidence for Christianity and God's existence, which are kind of separate categories in a way, are really, really freaking strong. So strong. I'm just blown by it, and this is why it gives me great confidence to go online and just talk with random people. And people can be smarter than me. There's plenty of people smarter than me, but when you have the evidence goes your direction, it makes things a little easier for you. Oh geez, the camera's going out. Anyways, yeah, the evidence goes, if God's true. Okay, yeah, the evidence is very strong for Christianity, and I got to share that with them, and a lot of people aren't exposed, and this brings me a lot of joy that they get to hear about this, that there's a very intellectual case for Christianity, and it's just strong. It's so strong that I think and if you're an atheist, I'm not trying to mock you again, but I think atheism is a ridiculous worldview, actually, when put against the evidence and some of these facts, the 6 miracles that atheists believe in, which I'd love to go through in depth in a video some point. But yeah, one thing I'm trying to get to, which I talked with my wife's dad about it, and he thought it might be the devil because it cut out right when I was trying to explain to them the gospel, because he didn't know the gospel, or didn't know how to he didn't know the proper gospel, which kind of sucks. But that's something I'm trying to learn on in future videos, how to tell people that in a good way, in a clear way, without confusing them, without boring them, without just not preaching, but monologuing to them. Trying to ask questions, keep engaging, but that's gonna take me a lot of skill. Sucks I didn't get to that point, but please pray for them. And dang, I don't want to forget to pray for them myself. Dang, maybe I'll just pray for them in the video if you want to pray with me at all. Any more thoughts to have about that? Yeah, just it's worth looking up. If you are unaware of the evidence for Christianity, I actually wouldn't mind, with the channel being so small right now, I wouldn't mind chatting. I would easily do a phone call or something. I don't know how to keep it private, but or text out. I'd love to chat somehow. But yeah, I urge you to look into evidence and look for different sides, whatever you need to do, because God's true, He's real, He loves you, and He wants you so freaking badly. But okay, I'm not just going to randomly. I'm going to pray for these guys, which I never learn their names. Join me if you will. Okay, Father, thank you for the conversation, and it really seemed like it really intrigued them, and I think they might be intrigued. Thanks, I guess, to their subscribers. So even if I get technical difficulties, I guess get subscribers one by one, I suppose. But Lord, please, I pray you would lead the Christian to just a deep understanding of you. Lord, I wasn't able to explain to them the proper gospel. Lord, I pray you'd send someone that would. Please show him, Lord, his friend who's exploring. Please save him. Simply put, just please save him, expose him, and lead him to you, Lord. Please, yeah, save him. And thank you just for saving us. In your name I pray, amen. Okay. Take care. Hopefully that worked.